Greetings, my fellow freedom love sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning to LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful realms of planet Earth. Today's date is Saturday, July 25th, 2026. This is episode 1973. Is Trumpcare going to get attention? Before I proceed, you can find me on multiple social media sites and podcast channels. Just type in Loki Luck number 3. Loki Luck Roman number 3 with 3 eyes, or Loki Luck Roman number 3 podcast. In addition, if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, all that good stuff, whatever you do, please use decorum. Hit me via email to ll3.podcast@proton.me. If you don't go to paypal.me or cash.app/Loki Luck number 3. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of other commitments. I have done a show in a couple of weeks. I do apologize for my listeners out there. Well, I'm doing okay, thank goodness. Been very blessed. And I know this past week has been very disheartening. Couple of weeks, you could say. That foot in the music realm, especially, has passed away. Mike Brownie, who was a Morbid Angel, starting Nocturnus out of Tampa, passed at 62. Jennifer Finch, based from L7. Passed around 58, if I'm correct. Or 58, 59? Yeah, 59, excuse me. And Lou Collar just found out today from Sick of It All at 59. Looks like they all had battled with cancer. It's a real shame because I've seen these folks perform. Actually chat with 2 or 3 of them, Lou and Mike. And they were really down-to-earth folks. I recall when Jennifer Finch was playing in L7 around September of 92. This hole in the wall in Miami Beach called Washington Square, South Miami Beach. It was like north of 6th Street and Washington Avenue. 645 people in a hole in the wall. And it was the most packed place ever. And they had that punk rock attitude. And she's like, we're out of tune. It's hot as hell. We're out of tune and keep on playing till one of us pass out. Well, Jennifer Finch did pass out an hour of the set, 45 minutes an hour of the set. And you know what? People still had a good time. I see Sick of It All too with Biohazard along with Hammerhead in the same venue. It wasn't as crowded, but it was a great concert, I can say. I just say it was very good night. And then Mike Browning, of course, saw him a couple times with Nocturnus. Unfortunately, I didn't see him with Nocturnus AD. And they were a good band too, so I always enjoyed his drumming and used that sci-fi, instead of death metal voice, more of a sci-fi twist to it. That's why we all have our moments. Something may get ticked off at times, but that's why, like, even myself, I was in a good mood yesterday, work-wise, but think about it's petty. I just woke up this morning and found out Lou Collar passed. I'm like, wow. May the souls be forever free. And thank you for putting out great music. And condolences go to the entire families and friends that knew all 3 of them. This is very disheartening, of course. What folks do, please be vigilant on your health. Question these vaccines. I don't know if any of them actually took the COVID jab or not. I'm not, going to be grim my conclusions. But since that, a lot more people are beginning turbo cancers, heart attacks, and strokes. That's from the FDA's own memos on adverse effects, which was October 22nd, 2020. You can look that up on the FDA's own memo. Always try to be our own healthcare providers. Even the person myself, I'm going to be 58 in a few months, and I'm always thankful. Don't take anything for granted. Don't abuse yourselves. Try to learn natural remedies on these infections because they always has an Achilles heel. I learned that from my grandmother, even though I had some reservations. But there's some great things I learned from her, which I cherish. Those attributes. Stand your ground, stand for what's right. Appreciate your food. And natural remedies. She survived one of the women that survived the Great Depression in Puerto Rico. And always remind myself on those areas. Always respect your elders, because remember, they have a historical mindset. If you don't learn from the past, my friends, we're damned to repeat it. So, I'm going to be talking about healthcare here. It'll be a pretty short episode. It came from the American Thinker today. The Trump administration's best healthcare idea isn't the one getting attention. As always, the secret sauce isn't more government intervention, but less, is what David Hogberg has to say. One reason pharmaceuticals cost so much, the Food and Drug Administration's approval process takes up to 12 years to bring a new drug to market. The Trump administration has launched Operation Trailblazer to shorten that timeline. It's one of Trump's best healthcare proposals so far, one that reduces the government footprint in U.S. healthcare. It is a welcome departure from some of the Trump administration's other prescription drug initiatives that unfortunately expand the role of government. The FDA approval process is divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 determines if a drug can be used safely in humans and at what dosage. Completing Phase 1 takes an average 380 days and in some cases can stretch to 700 days. Other countries are taking advantage of the FDA's slower pace. China has reduced its Phase 1 process to 60 days, while Australia is about 70 days. The U.S. has lost its competitive edge as a result. In 2024, the number of drug trials registered in China was over 16,600 versus 9,100 in the U.S., according to the Journal of Clinical Epidemiology. The first time China exceeded the U.S. China is seeing a surge of investment capital as a result. Out-licensing is the process by which a pharmaceutical company that develops a drug grants the rights to another company to further develop it. In 2023, pharmaceutical companies made $38 billion worth of out-licensing deals with Chinese firms. In 2024, that rose to nearly $52 billion, and it more than doubled to over $137 billion in 2025. To shorten Phase 1, Operation Trailblazer is clarifying the requirements for starting drug trials. The absence of explicit phase-specific requirements has left sponsors to guess what data is necessary. According to the FDA, drug companies often err on the side of submitting too much data, conducting months of unnecessary studies. Operation Trailblazer is also reducing the amount of animal testing companies must conduct before submitting a drug application. The administration is reforming later stages too. Under Operation Trailblazer, Phase 3 now requires 1 clinical trial instead of 2. The potential savings are considerable. Animal testing costs anywhere from $15 to $100 million. Phase 3 clinical trials cost an average $282 million. Those are savings that can benefit patients. Lowering the cost of testing drugs makes it easier for new pharmaceutical companies, especially smaller ones, to enter the prescription drug market. Smaller companies account for over 65% of drugs that are in development stage. Of the first-in-class cancer drugs approved by the FDA in the previous decade, smaller companies originate 46% of those drugs versus 14% from larger companies. Larger companies tend to focus on making incremental improvements to existing drugs rather than developing new ones. More pharmaceutical companies means more competition, which means lower drug prices. Economist Thomas Phillipson, former acting chairman of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, examines the economic benefits of reducing the FDA approval process in a new Unleash Prosperity Now report. His report estimates cutting FDA review timelines by 1 to 6 years could generate between $4 to $61 trillion in combined value to consumers and drug products. Hopefully, Operation Trailblazer represents a rethinking by the Trump administration of its approach toward prescription drug prices. Regrettably, the administration's other signature initiative, Trump RX, has imported drug price controls. To be fair, Trump RX deserves a credit for providing patients with a transparent, direct-to-consumer way to shop for the best cash price on their medications, reducing the confusion that long surrounded drug pricing. However, it also employs most favored nation drug pricing, which requires drug makers to charge a price equal to the lowest price among selected high-income countries. Many of those countries are in Europe, where drug prices are lower to price controls. Price controls make it harder to make a profit on a drug because governments often impose prices that don't cover the cost of producing a drug. In the long run, that will mean fewer smaller companies sell fewer drugs, and unprofitable drugs can easily put them in the red. That's a good for larger drug makers. They will increase their market share as small companies in financial distress either go out of business or are required by larger competitors. When the Trump administration reduces the government's role in drug development, as with Operation Trailblazer, it will provide savings that will reach patients. By contrast, Trump RX leans on government to set prices rather than get out of the way and let competition do it. The administration has proven with Trailblazer that it now knows how to do the latter. The task is now apply the same approach across the rest of its healthcare agenda. Interesting there. So it gives you a little bit of a thing about competition and so forth. But we always got to look at things a lot more. The side effects of these prescription drugs will come out quicker. And we got to remember, too, what did the Affordable Care Act and the HMO Act of 1973 have in common? They suck. It's that simple. Was not impressed by that at all. I remember everyone's grandstanding. They want the Affordable Care Act because this title sounds pretty. But they don't want to read the 900-page plus debacle. And I've examined it myself, and I see too many discrepancies on what the true title really means. It's like the Patriot Act is not unpatriotic, right? And I digress. If they would have got rid of the HMO Act in 1973, this wouldn't be a problem. But it's too much government intervention that really bring the prices up. This is how it is. It's like a form of neo-mercantilism, you can say. And this is why I always tell people, man, there's lots of remedies out there you can use to improve your health. Try not to rely on big pharma. Because why be a lab rat, right? And we know one thing for sure. Like I said before, every infection has Achilles heel. You got a lot of great information out there. So I encourage people, in my view, decentralize yourselves the best you can. Some of you may be a little bit too late, but doesn't mean you can't share it with others on this information. Good thing about it, less government. So that's a plus. I'll give them based on this article. But of course, the Trump haters are going to go ape crap and say he's the dumbest man. There's people like that can't even take care of their own affairs, but they think he's smarter than him. He has bad advisors too, don't get me wrong. but learn to better yourselves. If we do that, in due time, Big Pharma will be begging. We need customers. So, say no to government knows best. Well, that's my intake on this, the pros and cons, I can say. Like I said before, the trailblazer, yeah, bring out less government. But people, we got the technology, do your homework, go to good health food stores out there. There's some good ones out there, you gotta do a little shopping. You'd be surprised what you can find when it comes to your well-being. Alright. Well, that will be it. Thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media network. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, all that good stuff, whatever you do, please use the quorum. Hit me via email to ll3.podcast@proton.me. If you want to donate, go to PayPal at me or Cash Out app /local3. If you want to follow American Thinker, check it out. If you want to support him, great. Observe responsibly, of course. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.